Text. We're going to go back to our same area here, and we'll want to keep them showing so that we can actually see the text we're working with. What form of exercise works best for you? So the text tool, here it is. We'll set the cursor right there. Just about the right size, just about the right shape, not quite the right location. When you're in the middle of typing text, conveniently, if you move away from it, you can move where it is. And you can get back here and drag over and make changes just like in a word processor. And that is an important point to make, that you're in like a word processor right now. So to get out of this to work with anything else, because nothing else really is going to work until you do, the easiest way, I think, is to go to the Move tool and just click outside. If you want to get back to it, well, you can treat it as a layer, but double-clicking, that doesn't even work. Just going into the text tool, I guess, works to go back to change different parts of it up here. You may have noticed that I clicked to type that. That means that it's not bounded by a box. I could just keep on typing forever off to the end of the screen. Sometimes that's what you want, like when you're working with titles, but sometimes you want to limit where the text can go. So the other way with the text tool is not to just click like I did before, but to click and drag. And this way the text will be limited within this box. Probably want it to be a bit smaller. And so in here goes, so on and so on. Note with the bounding box that when you get to the end of the bounding box, if you go over, it will indicate that you've gone over down here. Watch this change as I continue to type. So that little plus means that some of your text is not showing, in which case you can change the size of the bounding box to bring it in. Full stop. So click and type or click and drag. The one most important thing to mention before leaving text is with websites, you need to be consistent within a web page and between web pages. So you don't want to go messing around too much with anything, with text. So if your paragraph font should be 18, leave it 18. If it should be Times New Roman, leave it Times New Roman. Do note that you can do fancy stuff like this, but you should not do. Let me just go out and treat one of these as an object. If I have this selected, I'm a paragraph, and I go Apple T for transform, I can transform it. I can do whatever I want if I treat it as an object. But I do not want to do this sort of thing when working with web design, because then you have inconsistencies all over the place. Don't do it. But since I'm here, if you're in a transform, any transform, you either have to set it with enter or cancel it with escape. And since we don't want to do this, I'm just going to press escape. The inconsistency point goes with the character and paragraph palettes as well. There are certain things that you may want to do. You may want to make, for example, so we'll go to the text tool, click, drag over it. You may want to make this paragraph centered. That's okay. That's not such a bad thing. But you wouldn't want to do certain crazy things like over here with how tightly packed the characters are, because that would create inconsistencies as well. So be very, very careful using anything around, I better take that back to 0, anything around here.